Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now January 8th of 2025, and given that the entire media and all of Hollywood, the film industry, whatever it may be, is now in shambles, it's in financial flames, we have a lot of comedians, actors, actresses coming out, and really pointing the finger at the general public as to why their careers are really going down right now, and really are not really working with them, and they really have no way to grasp with reality and with the facts that it's all because they got way too involved in politics, way too involved in all of that nonsense. And I've said this too many times, but I'll say it again. If you're anybody in show business and you drag politics into your careers, it's game over at that point. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, Kathy Griffin, alright, comedian, if you even want to call her a comedian, she has been going through quite a number of rants as of late, especially since November the 5th, especially since January 1, and we all know that Kathy Griffin really is, one example of those within the comedian, of course, business or the comedy business, whatever it may be. We know that she doesn't really quite know how to handle the situation right now with her comedy tour really failing, and the sales are just not there. She is not really getting anything that she thought she would get, and anywhere near expectations, quite frankly. But we know that Kathy Griffin, just a couple of days ago, went on this endless rant about how nobody's buying her tickets, nobody's really getting too involved in her comedy tour, and how it's basically spelling a recipe for disaster for the future of her career as a comedian. Again, if you even want to call her a comedian, I quite frankly never found her funny from the start and right from the get-go, but that's just me. Now, with the entire woke media in Hollywood already facing the worst backlash they have ever seen coming from the public, one monumental development going on right now involves more to do with comedian Kathy Griffin, who went on yet another tirade after facing more backlash herself after complaining about ticket sales for her comedy tour performing very poorly. Kathy delivered the following. The treatment that I received recently I found to be extremely unfair and childish, all because I expressed my concern about my career and the performance of my comedy tour, which I think deserves more credit and acknowledgement. In particular, I am finding that it's those that are following the incoming president that are getting offended with me expressing my issues with my career and just how offended people were of my things that I did back in 2016. They just need to let it all go already. It's time to grow up. I think it's when you're in comedy and you realize that even some of your own fans are leaving you because they are falling for this false narrative coming from one side of the country. You have to do something, or just have to say something, anything. I couldn't sit back and remain silent. Women deserve a voice like myself, and I think the absence of ticket sales is nothing more than a petty joke against me as a comedian. It's selfish behavior, and it serves as the epitome of those that follow the incoming president. Comedians deserve better. I deserve better. And I just feel it's about time that we wake up already and realize that false narratives are very damaging to many careers in show business. Whether you are a comedian or an actor or whatever, you just can't fall into their made-up lies. I have had enough already of remaining silent of those that refuse to purchase any show of mine in order to send a message. I mean, do you not understand how juvenile that really is? It truly is absurd. So, guys, before I move on about what Kathy Griffin is trying to basically say here is that if you don't find me funny, then you're in the wrong. That's basically what it boils down to. And she's also blaming politics. She's blaming, of course, anything that she can to cope with the fact that nobody finds her funny. Everyone resents her. Even the media, alright? Even the woke media do not like Kathy Griffin anymore because she's just so toxic. She has really no boundaries to what she's saying. And it really does create a downward spiral for anybody that's near her. So, interestingly enough, we know that Kathy Griffin, you would think that you would learn to kind of keep quiet if your ticket sales are not performing well. You would think that the better move would be to not say that or admit that to the public. But she's only making matters worse. I think that at this point, she really just does not know what else to do in 2025. She doesn't know what else to do for what looms for the next 12 months. Going into this year, I think is a very interesting thing, because you're going to see more and more of those within show business, within the film industry, saying such, illogical things that really don't make any sense, right? And that's why you're seeing a lot of these comedians just really dragging politics into their material because they really have nothing left, honestly. But let's get into this further. So she goes on to continue, far too often we are seeing comedians vanish into thin air, all because of the crowd that gets too easily offended when we make jokes about the incoming president. Those are the same individuals that express their fear and ignorance through playing some of the most childish jokes against those in show business by spreading so many false narratives that come from all directions. Now, whether it's men or women or whoever, I have witnessed this impact myself on my career, and I have lost so many opportunities. I have no regrets of bringing politics into my material, and I will plan to continue to do that, nor do I have any regrets of the jokes that I made in the past. So again, I mean, she's admitting that she lost roles because she really went way too hard on politics. We all know what she did back in 2016. Very gross things that she, by the way, got involved in. But when you think about everything that she did before in the past, all of the crazy jokes that she did with politics, everything to do with her material basically vanquishing, she had nothing left but to drag politics. This is exactly why she's locked in a corner, right? She has nowhere to escape when it comes down to her career. She realizes it's over. Everyone else knows it's over. It has nothing to do with people being offended about her jokes or anything like that. People just, quite frankly, do not like her, and she's just very unfunny. Now, lastly, she goes on to continue, I'm a comedian and you can't really have boundaries with material if you want to be funny. I feel I was wrongfully treated in show business and in the film industry. I lost roles here and there, and sure, I lost some comedy tour opportunities, but I really am just trying to stand my career on its last legs right now, and it's all because of that crowd on one side of the country. Again, there she goes, saying it's all because of one side of the country that has their own political beliefs. This is what they all do when they have to cope with the fact that their career is just not working for them anymore. And honestly, I mean, I think that Kathy Griffin, and I brought this up before, she was always very annoying. She was always a nuisance, even going way back into the 1990s when she was in that Seinfeld episode trying to become a comedian. Quite ironic, right? Even Jerry Seinfeld, playing himself in that show, found her to be annoying, and I found that to be quite funny, honestly. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, we know that there's a lot of comedians, there's a lot of actors, actresses, producers, directors, and writers, the list goes on, that really just don't know how to really cope with the fact that nobody wants to listen to them, nobody wants to see them. They want new faces. They want people that are not going to get too involved in politics, and they want people that are just going to focus on the art. Whether it's acting, singing, writing, making jokes, whatever it is, that's what they should do, alright? That's what Ricky Gervais even said, alright? Very good comedian out there. Focus on your job. If you're a comedian, make jokes. If you're an actor, act. Don't get involved in politics. And I agree with that. Overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.